What a car!
Oh yeah, check it out. The all-new MJX Hyper Go, one of two new Hyper Go's that have been released in the last couple of months. There's the 14209 and this one, the 14210. Of the two of them, this car seems to be going mostly overlooked by the RC community, but this car has a secret weapon.
Admittedly, the 14209 is the cooler looking of the two.
But when you see it in person, the 14210 is not bad looking itself. And its secret weapon I was talking about is actually these taller tires. This car is significantly faster than the 14209 is. I like this deep glossy black. That looks really good. And yes, it looks like an Arma Creighton. Almost every budget truggy nowadays takes after the Arma Creighton. You also get a gold body, an extra body, and I gotta be honest, I kind of think I like the way this one looks better. Normally, I go for dark black, kind of solid colors. I kind of like that. Oh, but in the case of this car, that doesn't look bad, does it? We've also got a 3000 milliamp hour 2S LiPo 25C that comes with the car. Spare set of shock springs. Not sure what the difference between these springs and the ones that are on the car is, but they are a different color. These springs are silver. These springs are black. We've also got a spare wing in the package, which is excellent because I don't know about you guys, but I absolutely decimate RC car wings on a constant basis. You also get a spare set of upper and lower A-arms, which is absolutely awesome to see. I love that. Kind of taking a page out of Rolarlo's book, and I'm not mad about it. Then we have the wheelie bar, which I may or may not put on. I probably ought to though, or I think I may regret it. Apparently this is a wheelie machine. Spare body mounts, and of course you get your standard balance charger, screwdriver, wheel wrench, and body clips. And of course we have the user manual, and here's how most people use their user manuals. And last but certainly not least, a spare set, a full set of paddle tires. These are going to be excellent in sand, and we've got some sand. Let's have a look under the hood. That was supposed to be much smoother. Now that is one good looking budget RC car. We've got a metal chassis, which is slightly ironic because WL Toys finally switched from metal chassis to this chassis. And of course, the old Hyper Go used pretty much an identical chassis, just smaller. And while WL Toys switches from a metal chassis to a plastic chassis, MJX goes from that exact chassis to a metal chassis. But look at this chassis brace. Feels tough, it feels really good. But not only is it tough, it also looks really, really cool. 4400 kV motor up from 4200 in the old Hyper Go, the old 16th scale. Cooling fan, 45 amp, 3S capable ESC, waterproof receiver, and I kind of like how they mounted the servo in this car. It's very unlikely that servo is going to take any direct impacts. And speaking of impact, this car is very unlikely to chassis slap. The oil-filled shocks on this version actually feel pretty much perfect. They're not too stiff. They're definitely workable. They definitely keep the chassis from bottoming out, and that probably has a little bit to do with these taller tires. And this just fell out of the inside of the car, so I guess this one came with an extra wheel nut. Bonus! Now that we've seen the car, let's go see some action. We've got the GPS zeroed out. 2S first, then 3S. Let's see if I should have put on that wheelie bar. Oh yeah, I should have put on the wheelie bar. Thank goodness it has these roof skids. This thing flies on 2S. Woo, 32.9 miles per hour on 2S. Now it's time for 3S, but the battery I brought is just a little bit too big for the chassis. So I've got it mounted on top of the receiver with some mounting tape, and I've got the GPS mounted to the wing. Oh, I can already feel it's gonna be fast. Yeah, that thing's screaming. I almost hit myself, and you don't want to do that because this is one heavy 14 scale RC car. It weighs a lot for its size. See what kind of speed we've got? No way. 47.7 miles per hour. Oh my God, it almost just did a standing backflip. That was really stupid of me. There is a little tiny bit of throttle delay. It's really not bad, but it's definitely there. That suspension is working really nicely. I like that. That's really tall grass it's in right now. You can see the suspension when I bring it to a stop. You can see it lean down. That's cool. Right now it's time for a change of appearance, change of tires, and a change of scenery. But first, I've just got to know how silly these paddle tires would be on the road. Listen how loud that is. It sounds like a lifted pickup truck on the freeway. Do a couple jumps and then we'll get into some actual sand. It's getting a bit dark now, but that's no problem for the HyperGo. The 16th scale would just spin right out the second you try to steer on loose dirt. This thing just grips and rips. What a car! Yep, the HyperGo is pretty cool. The 14 scale, the 14209 and the 14210, which is what this is right here. They're pretty cool cars, pretty awesome. And they are a bit more expensive than the rest of the HyperGo line, the MJX line. But you know what? It's a pretty good car. I'd say it's worth it. It is a little pricey, but once I got it out and got driving it and started realizing that it's a pretty good quality car. It's heavy, it's fast, it's tough. It handles reasonably well. It's a little bit wobbly on the road, but once you take it off-road, that's where it really belongs, and it shows. And in the next video, you guys know what we're gonna be doing, and that is gonna be the skate park. Don't miss it.